rabbis of yesteryear. I want to speak a bit today about a great rabbi from the Yeshivat, Pורת Yosef. His name was Rabbi Yosef Babliky, Zecher Tzadik Libracha. Now, I'm not too sure the exact date when he was born. It was around the 1907, 1908 time period, but it's reported over that he passed away on the 23rd of Iyar, 6th of May, 1983. We're talking about 42 years ago. And he was a great rabbi. He was a dayan, a judge in Israel. He was a head of Jewish court in Tel Aviv, and I believe also in Yerushalayim. And he was a ram in the famous Yeshivat, Pורת Yosef, let's just say the bastion of the Sephardic Yeshivot. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he was born in Jerusalem, and much can be said within regards to that. I think he was actually born, to be precise, in the Chatzer Streis. This was in Jerusalem, and came from great family. His father's name was Daniel, and his mother's name was Sarah. While he was young, he would learn under the auspices of the great rabbis of Jerusalem, especially the famous Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld. He was, I think, was the first rabbi of that part of the Eidah Haredit in Jerusalem. Rabbi Sonnenfeld was a very great rabbi of his time. He would learn under other great rabbis, including, I think, Rav Aryeh Leib Broida, who was an outstanding rabbi of his time. I think of the Kelem Talmud Torah. He was also, I think, and he was very great. I think he was actually the Chatan of the Sabbath Kelem, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have to double check on that. And also the famous Sabbath Kedisha, Rabbi Shlomo Eliezer Alfandari, one of the great rabbis of his time. Now, Rabbi Alfandari passed away in the year 1930. He was a great Kabbalist. He was a Mukubal. He was a Chacham Bashi, a chief rabbi of Damascus, and I believe he actually lived around 104 years, if I'm not mistaken. He was an author of various different great works, including the Shut, HaSabbath Kedisha, and was very, very close to some of the great rabbis of his time. So I recommend everyone to learn. Also, look back at the video we did on Rabbi Shlomo Alfandari, respectively. Okay. So it's interesting. So he was learning under auspices of those great rabbis, and he would progress on in greatness. He was one of the first students, I believe, the Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, and I think at that point in time it was under Rav Ezra Atiyah, one of the great rabbis of his time. Remember, Rav Ezra Atiyah was the Rav of Chacham Ovadia Yosef. Now he would get ordained to the rabbinate from the chief rabbi, the Rishon LeZion at the time, Rabbi Ben Zion Meir Chai Uziel. And obviously he was under the guidance of Rabbi Ezra Atiyah. He would continue studying on a very, very high level Torah, respectively at that point in time. He would be learning about for example, the matters within regards to the Bet HaMikdash and the sanctuary and the korbanot, the various different sacrifices. He was, I believe, an expert about. He would get married. His wife's name was Rabbanit Esther. I believe she was the daughter of another great rabbi, a rabbi I think we've spoken about before, famous Kabbalist and Darshan, Rabbi Moshe Monshoff, I believe. I believe we actually mentioned him maybe a couple of times before on several videos. He would. I recommend everyone to look into that and just for Chazara in of itself. I'd love to find out more information just within regards to him. Okay, and then I think Kamot Heitafresh Tzadik Hey, that specific Hebrew year, that would be, I think, around the year 1934, 1935-ish. He'd be appointed as a ram in Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, the bastion of the Sephardic Yeshivot. And there was many great rabbis over there, potential rabbis that were learning there at that stage in time, including Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, Rabbi Ben Zion Abashur. Remember, he would become head rabbi of Yeshiva Pורת Yosef, and Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu would become the chief rabbi of Israel. Rabbi Shlomo ben Shimon, another great rabbi, or Rabbi Yechiel Shlomo Yedidia ben Shimon, to give his full title. He would go on to become a great dayan in Israel, part of the Moatzot Chachmei Torah and the dayan of the Bet Din of the Moatzot Rabbanat Areshit, and I think the rabbi of the Nevei Tzion also. Rabbi Eliyahu Shrim, another great rabbi of various different neighborhoods, and Rosh Yeshiva of the Torah Hora'ah and the foundation. Rav Moshe Topik, another great rabbi, would become his student. He was also part of the Bet Din, I think, of Ashdod, of Tel Aviv, a head of Jewish court in Ashkelon, a rabbi I think we've spoken about quite recently, if I'm not mistaken, and many other great rabbis over there. So you can see the caliber of the students there was at that specific window of time. And he would teach various other things. I think Seder Kodshim, for example, that would be one of the undertakings he would teach over there, Kitat Kodshim, respectively, over there. Then come with the year 1950, around that time period, he was appointed a judge in the Tel Aviv Rabbinical Court. and a very prominent position. And he was very close to another great rabbi. I think very great rabbi, Rabbi Yosef Shalom Eliashiv, one of the great Lithuanian rabbis of his time. And I think he was very close to him, a correspondence to him. And I think it would recommend, if I'm not mistaken, to speak to, it's a close connection to the famous chief rabbi of the time, Rabbi Yitzchak Isaac Halevi Herzog. And I think, come on, 1955, he was appointed as a head of the Tel Aviv Rabbinical Court. They would talk various different questions, grapple with different halachic contemporary issues of that specific window of time, very high-profile cases, if I'm not mistaken, which I reckon everyone to look into that. Okay, they were corresponding. There was robust debate, let's just say, on various rulings, especially with regards to Rabbi Shlomo Goren, with regards to different halachic issues. While he was sitting as a head of the court. Come with the year 1965, he would go on to move, I believe, to the court in Jerusalem. He was a head of Jewish court over there. I think he would take over the role of Rabbi Salmon Chogi Abudi, another great rabbi. Some Rabbi Abudi, I think, was a great rabbi in Baghdad and the head of Jewish court in Jerusalem, part of Moatzot Rabbinit Rishit, on the great court of Israel. And this was a very prominent position. Now, I believe he passed away on the 23rd of Iyar, the 6th of May, in the year 1983. We're talking about 42 years ago. He was buried in Har Menachot, the Mount of Rest's burial plot over there. So that was another interesting tidbit. So much has been related within regards to him. I would recommend everyone to look more about him. There's I think in various different Sfarim, they would actually talk about the great Rabbi Babliky of his time, passed away obviously on the 23rd of Iyar. He was a great rabbi of his time, and it was part of one of the great rabbis of Yeshivat Pורת, Yosef. So I recommend everyone to look more into him. And friends of the community here, we're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. He happened to have been a head of Jewish court in Tel Aviv, head of Jewish court in Yerushalayim. He had great rabbis and great Talmudim also, which was during his time period. When he was born, they were part of the Ottoman Empire, but Baruch Hashem, the Medinat Yisrael was formed after he was born, way after, in 1948. So he was outstanding rabbi of that time. Now, friends, we actually recorded a video on his yeshiva, which he was a ram in, Yeshivat Pורת Yosef. I recommend everyone to look at the previous videos that we've done on the great rabbis, and you will actually be able to find the video, I think, of Yeshivat Pורת Yosef. We did a whole, let's just say, historical video on those great rabbis, and it will be very, very interesting to actually see it. Now, friends, we are a community here. We love learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. If you descend from any of the great chachamim we are speaking about, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe now. We are nearing a staggering 7,000 subscribers, which is a phenomenal achievement. I don't think we would have initially thought we'd get this far, but we're growing. And we're learning, we're an online encyclopedia trying to learn about the great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear, the great rabbis that happen to have been from the Ottoman countries, from North African countries, from the Spanish vicinities, and from all those different places. So please, if you descend from any of these great rabbis we're speaking about also, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information on them. And we are also a channel that has explored various different, interesting tidbits within regards to great rabbis of yesteryear. We've explored on the various different countries. We're doing a special series also on the internet, for example, where we are examining, let's just say, various different Parashat Shavuot we're looking into. We're trying to doing stories on special stories on the Hebrew month. We concentrate also. Another special thing is we like to look at let's just say different, explore the different months, different parshiot, different chodashim. We do a special series also here at the moment where we look into where we speak to great. Please, everyone, subscribe now to the channel now and enjoy and learn more wisdom here. I wish you all a fantastic day. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and be well and subscribe.